10,438. Why the cryptosphere is losing its mind over this 18-digit number 21800. That's 18 zeros followed by 21 E8 and another 2 zeros. Doesn't look particularly remarkable, nor does 21 E800 C1 E8 DF51 B22 C1588 E5 A624 B17 E9 FA34 B2 DC4A, which is the complete hash it's associated with. And yet this series of numbers and letters has sent the cryptosphere into overdrive, sparking talk of quantum computing breakthroughs, time travel, Satoshi's return, and the hidden meaning of Bitcoin. One row of zeros, infinite possibilities. On June 19 at 1932 UTC, block number 528,249 was discovered by the BTC.top mining pool. On the face of it, there was nothing unusual about the block. It measured just over 1 megabyte, had almost 6,500 inputs, 1,047 outputs, and 125 SegWit transactions. But when the block is viewed in an explorer such as Blockshare, something astonishing appears when you hover your cursor over the block hash. The number 21E800 appears. To some, the appearance of so many zeros, followed by 21, a number synonymous with Bitcoin's total supply, is merely a coincidence, an occurrence as inevitable as a roulette wheel landing on red 18 times after 500,000 spins. To others, it's a near impossible feat that signals intervention from another world, be it celestial, extraterrestrial, or future. The mother of all hashes. It was Mark Wilcox who discovered the oddity first, tweeting a hash of the block around 90 minutes after it was discovered. Half of crypto Twitter immediately began losing their minds, while the other half began scratching their heads. What was the significance of this hash, if, in fact, there was any? Humans are programmed to see patterns in everything, and thus the fixation on 18 zeros in a row is understandable, but it's what comes next in the block hash that's equally startling, for those who like to be startled, or for anyone partial to pareidolia, perceiving a pattern where none exists. 21E8, also known as E8, refers to a theory of everything also known as a unified field theory. There's even a website, 21e8.com, which displays a fractal pattern based on the elementary particle spin that forms a part of E8 theory. The last time Bitcoiners got all excited over a block hash beginning with an unusually high number of zeros was when Satoshi mined the Genesis block. After the fact, once Bitcoin had developed a community, the significance of block hash 0011D668934FF763A46A2A6C172B3F1B6826F was pondered in a Bitcoin Talk forum thread. There are a number of unusual things about this hash. For one thing, it contains 2 hex zeros more than were required, and for another, as we explained in a previous article on the Genesis block, it took 6 days to mine, as speculated in an old Bitcoin Talk forum thread. This may have been yet another deliberate trick on the part of Satoshi, to mimic the biblical account of creation, as we read in Genesis 2:2, and on the 7th day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested. What does it all mean? There are 2 ways that a block containing an unusually high number of zeros could have came about, by accident or design. If it was the former, there is nothing to read into the significance of block 528,249 commencing with 18 zeros. Their presence is no more meaningful than any other string of numbers. If it is the latter, however, and someone inserted those numbers by design, then that individual has a level of computing power that is currently unattainable by several orders of magnitude. It has been estimated that it would take 2,500 years to create that hash, working at a rate of 1 exahash second, which represents around 2.5% of the current BTC network hash rate. For this feat to have occurred deliberately, it would had to have been performed on a yet undiscovered quantum computer, or by a time traveler taking advantage of future advancements in processing power. As theories go, this one's pretty tinfoil, But there are those who believe that Satoshi Nakamoto was a time traveler. 21e8.com. Such matters are beyond the scope of this article. As a less sensational hypothesis, one writer has postulated that the hash number could have been the work of Andrew DeSantis, who is working on a quantum computer, and regularly posts cryptic messages that have shades of E8 theory to them. DeSantis, for his part, has posted a series of responses to the original tweet that revealed the hash, suggesting that the odds of him hitting upon the number are infinitesimally small. While the chances are that the hash of block 528,249 is little more than an amusing coincidence, the mystery will fuel further speculation as to Satoshi Nakamoto's whereabouts in space and time, the serendipity of the hash genesis block, and the appearance of 18 consecutive zeros in another block, hashed 9 years later. Do you think there's any significance in this number, or are people overreacting? Let us know in the comments section below. Images courtesy of Shutterstock and Twitter. With thanks to Jamie Redman for sourcing the dank memes. Need to calculate your Bitcoin holdings? Check our tools section.